Dear Global Pioneer family, today is January of 2026. At this moment, I am not sitting in my office at Stanford, but in a corner cafe in Palo Alto, Silicon Valley, holding a warm latte in my hand. I look out at the bustling crowds on University Avenue. This is the heart of global technology. The air is always filled with the aroma of coffee and the hurried conversations of entrepreneurs. Everyone is talking about the next big trend. Everyone is running. In this place where the pace is suffocatingly fast, I want to slow down. Instead, I want to talk with you about a topic that seems out of place with the world outside the window, yet strikes directly at the depths of our souls. Time in the past 7 years, the complaint I heard the most was, it is too slow. Someone asked me, Dr. Fan, why is Pi moving so slowly? Why does KYC take so long to review? Why is ecosystem construction crawling like a snail? I empathize with this anxiety. In this fast food era, where a tap on the screen brings instant gratification, in this crazy world where cryptocurrencies can rise or fall by 50% in a single day, waiting seems to have become a sin, and slow seems to have become a synonym for incompetence. But today, sitting in this Silicon Valley corner that has witnessed the rise and fall of countless companies, looking back at the long and winding road behind us, I want to solemnly tell you the reason Pi Network has survived, the reason we possess everything we have today, is precisely because we did not choose to be enemies with time, but chose to be friends with time. First, let us redefine what is fast and what is slow. In Silicon Valley, there is a plant called a weed. After a spring rain, it can grow 10 centimeters taller overnight. It is fast, very fast, but as long as the scorching sun shines for a few days or a cold wind blows, it will quickly wither and turn to dust. Its life cycle is calculated in days in the Sequoia National Park in California. Not far from here, there is a plant called the sequoia. When you plant a sequoia seed, for the first 5 years, you can hardly see its growth above ground. It seems static. If you were an impatient farmer, you might have pulled it up long ago. But in fact, during these 5 years, its root system is growing madly underground, rooting down tens of meters, extending hundreds of meters around, tightly grasping the rocks and soil. By the 6th year, it will suddenly explode. It can grow to 100 meters high, and even thunderstorms cannot shake it. Its life cycle is calculated in millennia. Dear family, please look at the history of cryptocurrency. Where are those projects that once promised 100 times success, or mainnet next week? Those meme coins that were noisy for a time in the bull market of 2021. They grew wildly like weeds and died like weeds because they had no roots. Pi Network, however, chose to be a sequoia. We planted the seed in 2019. We spent the long 5 years from 2020 to 2024 taking root underground. We took root in KYC, building the identity layer of real people. We took root in nodes, building the decentralized physical layer. We took root in the ecosystem, building the utility layer of application scenarios. This slowness of 7 years was not stagnation, but rooting. If we hadn't spent time establishing these 19 million real identities, we would have been washed away by bots long ago. If we hadn't spent time polishing the SCP protocol, our network would have been paralyzed by congestion long ago. We used the cost of slow to buy the qualification to survive. Being friends with time is not just enduring waiting, but utilizing the power of compound interest. Einstein said, "Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world." In the financial field, compound interest makes funds grow exponentially. In the field of social networks, time also has compound interest. Imagine if we had rushed to list in 2019. We only had 100,000 people. Then the value of Pi might have been only a fraction of a cent, and it would have been sold to zero very quickly. But time did us a huge favor. As time went by, 100,000 people became 1 million people, became 10 millions of people today. This is not simple addition. This is multiplication. Metcalfe's law tells us the value of a network is proportional to the square of the number of users. These 7 years have increased the value density of the Pi network by thousands of times. This is the dividend time has given us. More importantly, time screened the consensus. Those speculators who only wanted to make quick money left during the long wait. Those without faith got off the bus when prices were low. Who is left? It is pioneers like you, who possess a will of steel. The builders who truly recognize Pi's vision. This group of people is the gold settled by time. The cohesion of a community formed by this group of people is unmatched by any new project. Any capital wanting to rebuild such a community, even if spending $10 billion, cannot buy the emotional connection of these 7 years. So, do not complain about time. It is time that helped us wash away the floating chips. It is time that helped us condense consensus. It is time that turned pie from a fragile porcelain into a hard rock. I know everyone understands the logic, but waiting is still painful, especially when you need money or when you see others getting rich overnight. That anxiety gnaws at your heart like ants. How can we truly be friends with time? I have 3 suggestions for you who still feel anxious at this moment. First, treat pie as a time capsule, not tomorrow's lunch. If you treat pie as money to buy rice tomorrow, you are destined to suffer because the market fluctuates. But if you treat pie as a gift to yourself 5 years from now, as an education fund for your children's future, your mindset will be completely different. You will hope it walks a bit steadier and then a bit steadier. You will hope this sequoia tree grows a bit taller so it can shelter your future family from wind and rain. Second, turn from a waiter into a builder. If you just sit by the roadside waiting for the bus, every minute is torture. But if you participate in the process of repairing the road, you will feel that time passes quickly, and it is full of a sense of achievement. Go run a node and watch the block height grow. Go participate in ecosystem apps, and write a real review for a merchant in StarMax. Go preach and teach your friends how to use a wallet. When you are busy building, you are no longer a slave to time. You are the master of time. Third, believe in the power of delayed gratification. Anthropological studies show that those who can delay gratification often achieve greater success. The current low price, the current waiting, is actually a form of cultivation. It is tempering your character. In this restless circle, people who can hold for 7 years without wavering possess the psychological quality to become wealthy. Wealth is a reward for cognition and a subsidy for patience. Now, sitting in this KFE in 2026, looking out the window, we can proudly say, time has begun to repay us. Look at our ecosystem. Those apps that were humble prototypes in 2023 and 2024, after being polished by time, have now become mature commercial products. Blind Lounge has started to have stable membership income. Run for Pi has attracted a large number of Web2 players. Gargora is attempting to connect with real-world banking services. This is the fruit of time. Without experiencing those 2 years of development and trial and error, these apps could not be so smooth, could not carry the current user volume. Look at our KYC system. From the initial manual review to the current AI intelligent recognition, we spent 6 years training the model. Now, we possess the world's most advanced decentralized identity verification technology. If we hadn't gone through those 6 years of clumsy effort, we couldn't have stood firm in the tide of MiCA compliance. All the waiting has turned into a moat at this moment. All the slowness has become a barrier that competitors cannot surpass. Dear pioneers, the ancient Chinese philosopher Laozi once said, "Water does not compete to be first, but to flow endlessly." In this marathon of cryptocurrency, those who rush to the front at the start are often not the ones who reach the finish line last. Those fleeting 100-fold coins are the rushing water that competes to be first. They will dry up quickly. But Pi Network, we want to be that endlessly flowing great river. We do not compete for the momentary high or low of the price. We compete for centuries of ecosystem prosperity. We do not compete for momentary traffic noise. We compete for global financial inclusion. Please continue to be friends with time. Do not be impatient. Do not panic. Hold the pie in your hands a little tighter, and then a little tighter. Plant your belief in the future a little deeper, and then a little deeper. Time is fair. It will not treat anyone poorly who holds firewood to keep warm in the winter, nor will it treat anyone poorly who watches for the dawn in the dark night. I have finished this cup of coffee, and the sunshine outside is just right. These 7 years, we have not lived in vain. In the next 7 years, we will witness the magic of time, how it turns the consensus in our hands into gold. Thank you, everyone. May time be with you.